What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys!
back here again with another video. Today we're going to be focusing on Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. For those of you that don't know, the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection was just released a few days ago, and it includes Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma, as well as Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. So yeah, they quote-unquote remastered the trilogy. However, I gotta be honest, this is more like a high-quality port. You guys will be able to judge that in just a moment. I do want to point out that I did record and upload this footage at 60 frames per second, so it should look fairly smooth. The game actually runs at 4K now, as well as 60 frames per second, as I just mentioned, so those are going to be two of the main upgrades in the game. Now, I will be commentating through this video, however, I'm not going to be commentating during the cutscenes.
Call me Ishigami.
Ministry of Defense. External Affairs.
A special agency within the ministry. Think of us like you ninja.
And?
She will provide you with the details.
Mizuki McLeod, Japan Air Self-Defense Force Special Security Unit. Flight Officer, First Class. Yesterday, an unknown group launched a terrorist attack in London. They've taken control of the area around the Prime Minister's residence.
So why me? What do you need my help for?
Oh no. We don't need your help. You need ours. Mizuki, show him the video.
This was just sent to us by the government.
Bring us Ryu Hayabusa! Bring us Ryu Hayabusa!
It's you they want. Ryu Hayabusa.
Alright, so let me cover some basics here. Razor's Edge was originally released on the Xbox 360 and PS3, so that's why this game is going to look a little outdated. They did quote-unquote remaster the game, however, I don't think they remastered or went back and updated each texture to 4K. I think it was just some of the textures.
Hayabusa, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All civilians have been evacuated. Any armed soldiers down there are fair game.
The hostages are in the Prime Minister's residence, right?
Yes, I'll monitor the situation and guide you from the air. Be careful, Hayabusa.
So yeah, back to what I was talking about. This is a quote-unquote remaster. Just make sure you set your expectations when diving into the Master Collection, because if you're expecting a full-on remaster with every single texture remastered, things like that, that's not what you're gonna get here. I really wish they would have just branded this as a high-quality port, but of course everybody's branding these re-releases as remasters, so I understand where they're coming from. Either way, you know, whether they have old graphics or modern day graphics, these games are absolute classics. So even taking into consideration the graphics are a bit older, these games are absolutely awesome, especially the first and the second one. The third one, you know, gets some slack for not being as good as the first two, but the third one is still really good, even though it didn't have Itagaki involved. Once Itagaki departed, basically a lot of people felt that the game wasn't like the first two titles. Personally, I think the third game gets a little bit too much heat. I mean, it's not, you know, an instant classic like the first two, but it's not a bad game either. It's definitely a game worth playing. I haven't necessarily completed it, but I have probably got about 5 to 6 hours into the game, but that was actually on the 360 version of Razor's Edge. And they actually have the OG Ninja Gaiden 3 that isn't Razor's Edge. Both of the versions are available on the Xbox 360. Some people prefer the original Ninja Gaiden 3, some prefer Razor's Edge, but I think for the most part, if you ask Ninja Gaiden fans, in terms of the third game, they'd go with Razor's Edge. There's just a lot of gore in the Razor's Edge version, especially considering in the Master Collection, Sigma and Sigma 2 are highly censored. You basically have a purple mist replacing a lot of the blood in gore. They still have decapitations, but there's no blood involved, and if you dismember any parts or cut off a head, they basically disappear right away. They don't stay on the floor. So yeah, in terms of the first game, the best version I'd say is Ninja Gaiden Black, which was an original Xbox game. For the second one, I'd say the Xbox 360 version. The original Ninja Gaiden is the best one to play if you want to play the second game. And then for the third game, Razor's Edge is going to be the preferred version. But all of the games in the trilogy have multiple versions. Unfortunately, they didn't put the best version of each game in the Master Collection, just because, you know, Sigma and Sigma 2 again are highly censored. I much rather would have had Black and the original Ninja Gaiden 2 Xbox 360 version included in this Master Collection. But I actually read an interview about the game, and they had mentioned that basically the source code has been lost for Ninja Gaiden Black and Ninja Gaiden 2 Xbox 360. So being that they weren't able to recover the source code, it made it really hard to remaster those versions of the game. And being that they had the source code handy for Sigma and Sigma 2, basically they were able to put together what they had available. But, you know, most Ninja Gaiden fans, I'm sure, would agree that Ninja Gaiden Black and Ninja Gaiden 2, the original 360 version, would have, you know, been much better in the Master Collection, at least if you wanted to make the best Ninja Gaiden collection possible. But, you know, I'll take Sigma and Sigma 2. Like I mentioned earlier, they're not necessarily bad games, they're just not the best version of these games. But even the worst versions, Sigma and Sigma 2 in this case, are still really good games. If you have not played the Ninja Gaiden series, I highly recommend diving into it now that the Master Collection is out. Even with the censored versions, the games are really good, especially the first two. This franchise, along with other Team Ninja games, were all Xbox exclusives originally. Ninja Gaiden released on the OG Xbox and was followed up by the better version, Ninja Gaiden Black, also on the OG Xbox. Luckily, that OG Xbox game is actually backwards compatible, so if you have Ninja Gaiden Black, you can throw it in your Xbox One or Xbox Series X and play it via backwards compatibility. It's even available digitally, so if you want to purchase Ninja Gaiden Black, the OG Xbox backwards compatible version, I think it's $9.99. Just know that that is not going to include any achievements, as achievements were not a thing back in the original Xbox days. Now, that's one of the cool things about the Master Collection, is the fact that you have 3,000 available achievement points rather than just 1,000 G. You have 1,000 gamer score for the first game, second game, and third game individually. And that's really cool for the first game, because up until now, we've never been able to get achievements in Ninja Gaiden, the first game, because it was the original Xbox game, and they had never released Ninja Gaiden Sigma on the Xbox 360. So yeah, it's cool being able to go through the first game and get achievements this time. Other than that, we were able to get achievements in the second game because that was an original Xbox 360 exclusive, again the preferred version of the second game, and now we can get achievements again in Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma via the Master Collection. So you could stack those up for 2,000 G in the second game, and then for the third game, we have 3 different stacks. We have the Ninja Gaiden 3 OG Xbox 360 game, and then we have Razor's Edge, and then we have Razor's Edge from the Master Collection. So for the third game, you can get a total of 3,000 G if you're willing to play through it 3 different times on 3 different consoles. Now, if you're wondering, you know, what are the differences between these games, I'm leaning towards releasing graphics comparisons. Not only will you be able to see, you know, the graphics upgrades in the Master Collection, and also the benefits of the 60 frames per second, but you'll also be able to notice that there are actual differences in these versions, especially if I were to compare, let's say, Ninja Gaiden Black running in backwards compatibility to Ninja Gaiden Sigma running in the Master Collection. You're going to notice there's a lot of things being censored out. However, I gotta say, Sigma and Sigma 2 do have their plus sides. They do have additional bosses, additional features, and you can even play as additional characters, which gives the game a ton of replay value. If you guys want to see footage of me playing the game as different characters, such as the 4 or 5 Dead or Alive girls that are available in the Master Collection, let me know. For instance, you can run through the game as Kasumi, Ayane, whoever you feel like. I think there's 4 or 5 Dead or Alive girls that you can play as now in the Master Collection. So that's one of the cool benefits that Sigma 2 had back on the PS3, is you were able to play through the game with multiple characters. But in the Master Collection, I think they added 1 or 2, so there's pretty much a handful of characters that you can play through this game as now. And I think those characters even have like their own moveset and things like that, so it's not necessarily like just a skin for Hayabusa with the same moves, you know. So I'm interested in actually running through the game with maybe one of the Dead or Alive girls. Again, if you're interested in that, let me know down in the comments below. Now, one thing you're going to notice is the quick time events. That's something that was added in the 3rd game, but it's because this game was released in the prime of the quick time era. At least I think so. At the end of the 360 PS3 era and at the beginning of the Xbox One PS4 era, there were a ton of games that included the good old quick time events. For those that aren't familiar with the quick time event, it's basically like a cutscene that slows down at certain points for you to press a button. And maybe if you don't press the button, you die or you take damage, things like that. And basically it's a cutscene where you're interacting during the cutscene. And again, it was really popular during this era of video games. A lot of games were including quick time events just to kind of spice up the cutscene portions of games. But it ended up getting to the point where every single AAA game had quick time events, and after a while, I think people started to think that this was less and less cool and more tedious, as this was a common feature in a lot of games. A lot of games include quick time features even these days, but you know, they don't put them in every single level or every single cutscene. You know, having them here and there, I think, is a healthy amount of quick time events, but making your whole game based off of quick time events can be a little, you know, boring and repetitive. A matter of fact, the whole quick time event era, I think, inspired the whole Telltale games. Those are basically games that are quick time events from start to finish. Now that I'm thinking about it, that was probably one of the main causes for the end of the quick time event era. Like I said, there's still games that include it, but you know, they sprinkle it in at a healthy amount. But making your game all about quick time events was just, you know, going a little too far. Anyhow, I'm starting to go on a rant about quick time events, and this is a Ninja Gaiden video. Mostly, I was just trying to point out the fact that they added quick time events to the game. There was fans that loved the feature, and there were fans that really didn't understand why this was in the game, and they didn't like it. Personally, I don't think that this game is drenched in quick time events. I feel like it sprinkles it in a healthy amount, so I'm not complaining about it. I think it actually adds to the game, being that, you know, they don't do it too many times. Alright, so here we go. We got our first boss battle. That's one of my favorite things about Ninja Gaiden, is the boss battles. I mean, Ninja Gaiden 2 has 3 bosses in the first level, and I think this game has like 2 bosses in the first level. Basically, guys, what we're doing here is I'm running you guys through the first mission in the game so you guys can get a good glimpse at what the Master Collection looks like, just in case you're trying to decide on whether it's worth it and maybe you should pick it up. If that's why you're here, I'll go ahead and break it down for you real quick. If you're somebody that's never played the Ninja Gaiden series, I highly recommend this purchase, as these games are straight classics. Whether they look a little bit dated or not, Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden 2 especially are definitely worth playing. As I mentioned before, they're classics, they're legendary games, and every hardcore gamer or even gamer should at least dip their toe in and try out Ninja Gaiden to see if they like it, because it's a game that every gamer should have at least tried before. It's just one of those. Like, what kind of gamer has never tried a Zelda game? You know, that's kind of how I feel about Ninja Gaiden as well, as what kind of gamer has never tried a Ninja Gaiden game? It's that legendary. Again, especially for Xbox fans. I mean, hardcore Xbox fans love Ninja Gaiden because originally this franchise was exclusive to the Xbox platform. Ninja Gaiden, as well as Dead or Alive and Dead or Alive Extreme, were all exclusives to the original Xbox. And even during the Xbox 360 era, we got another Dead or Alive, another Dead or Alive Extreme, and another Ninja Gaiden, all exclusives. But those that are familiar with the franchise know that a lot of the Xbox exclusivity was due to a person named Itagaki being there. Once Itagaki ended up departing from Tecmo, at that point they had basically decided that they wanted to be multi-platform, and that they basically thought it was a mistake that they were exclusive to Xbox. And a lot of that was because Itagaki seen value in being an Xbox exclusive. So shout out to Itagaki, man. He was a legend, and he has a lot to deal with why Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden 2 were such great games, and also exclusive games for the Xbox. So yeah, a lot of the hardcore Ninja Gaiden fans say they don't like Ninja Gaiden 3, mostly because Itagaki wasn't involved. But if I'm being honest with you, that doesn't take away too much from the game. It's still Ninja Gaiden, it's still a great game, it's still worth playing. It's definitely not as good as the first two. It wasn't exclusive to Xbox anymore, which kind of turned off Xbox fans, things like that. But ultimately, still a good game, still worth playing, especially the Razor's Edge version, as that is the best version of Ninja Gaiden 3. A matter of fact, I ended up looking up the differences between Ninja Gaiden 3 and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, and here are a few. There's more blood and gore, there's more enemy variations, bosses have health bars, improved enemy AI and attacks, rope mechanic was removed, dismemberment and return obliteration techniques as a way of finishing off injured opponents instead of downed ones. The whole mechanic of steel and bone has been revamped and is instead used as chainable grab counter. Return of the original flying swallow mechanic. Kunai climbing is much faster. Ultimate techniques can be charged without having to kill enemies. More weapons from Ninja Gaiden 2, like the dual katana, lunar staff, and Kusarigama. Reduced amounts of quick time events. That's funny, we were just talking about that. So Ninja Gaiden 3 had even more quick time events, and they got rid of some of them in Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. It also says the Ninpo mechanic has been revamped with multiple types of Ninpo with different effects and bar lengths. The game also added alternate costumes, chapter challenge mode. Ayane, Momoji, and Kasumi are playable in the Razor's Edge version. On top of that, they also added Rachel in the Master Collection, which is cool. Ayana actually got her own story mode with 2 chapters specific to her in Razor's Edge compared to Ninja Gaiden 3. So yeah, we have new content, including new missions, it looks like, which is cool because not only are those, gameplay related fixes or plus sides, but those are actual additional content in the Razor's Edge version, which is cool. It says the return of collectibles in the form of golden and silver scarabs, as well as crystal skulls. So Ninja Gaiden 3 didn't have collectibles versus Razor's Edge does have collectibles. It says a new gameplay mechanic, Bloody Rage, is introduced. Weapons move list now has names for every input. Yeah, so pretty crazy, guys. That's a lot of stuff that they added to the Razor's Edge version. That's why, a lot of people say the Razor's Edge version is definitely better than the OG Ninja Gaiden 3, which is kind of weird, because with the second game, the OG version is the best version. I don't know. For me, it's as simple as this. The censored version is the version I don't want to play. I think the uncensored versions are going to be the best versions of the game ultimately, because those are the game or games in their true form. Now, I do think I'm going to be releasing graphics comparison videos and also just maybe what are the difference videos, because maybe those can be 2 videos in itself, just because I want to compare Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, the 360 version, compared to the Master Collection version. But not only that, I want to compare Ninja Gaiden 3, the OG version, to the Razor's Edge version. So those are 2 different comparison videos because you're comparing 2 different games. You're comparing Razor's Edge on Xbox Series X or Xbox One, basically the Master Collection version, to the Razor's Edge, the Xbox 360 game, which is backwards compatible. Now, other than that, I do want to compare the OG version to the Razor's Edge version, because not only are you going to see a difference in graphics and in frames per second, but you're also going to notice a difference in straight up content and stuff that has been added to the game and also removed from the game. Now, let's take some time to talk about the achievements, because I am an achievement channel. Now, I looked at the Xbox 360 version just because that's been out for, much longer. I think Razor's Edge was actually released in like 2013, so it's been out, 8 years or so? Now, about 23,000 people, at least according to True Achievements, have played Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge on the Xbox 360. And out of 23,000 people, only 125 people have the full 1,000 gamer score. And Those 125 people on average took 100 to 120 hours to get the full 1000 gamer score. So this is a very difficult and very grindy 1000 gamer score. Not only on the 360 version, but if you were to stack it on the Master Collection version. I did start going through all of the achievements, and for the most part, this is the same list as the Xbox 360 version, pretty much copied to the Master Collection version. Now, ultimately, what it comes down to is you not only need to complete the game multiple times on each of the difficulties, but you need to basically accomplish a lot of other miscellaneous tasks. For instance, you basically have to collect all of the collectibles in the game. As I mentioned earlier, we have gold scarabs, silver scarabs, as well as crystal skulls. Not only that, but you need to clear all of the tests of valor, you need to clear all of the ninja trials, and there is an achievement related to clearing all chapters of the game with Ayane, Momoji, and Kasumi. You also need to unlock all of the ninja skills for each of the characters as well. Now, you probably want to stack those character playthroughs with the difficulty playthroughs, as these achievements related to completing the game on different difficulties are not stackable. So you actually need to complete the game on each of the difficulties to get all of those achievements. For instance, we have to complete the game on normal or hero. There's also an achievement for completing the game on hard. After you complete it on hard, you're going to unlock Master Ninja difficulty. After you complete the game on Master Ninja difficulty, you're going to unlock Ultimate Ninja difficulty. And that's basically the hardest difficulty in the game. It's basically a very, very hard difficulty.
Please, just...
I've been waiting for you, hero.
Who are you?
Let's dispense with the introductions and get straight to the killing, shall we?
Come, Ryu Hayabusa.
Now, back to what I was saying. We have to complete the game 4 different times on all 4 difficulties to get all of the achievements or trophies. We have to complete the game on Ultimate Ninja, Master Ninja, Hard, and then also Hero or Normal difficulty. So 4 different playthroughs to get the full 1000 gamer score, guys. If you end up getting that 1000G, or maybe you're part of the 125 people that got that 1000G in the 360 version, mad respect to you. I mean, these games are super difficult. I can only imagine how hard it is to complete the game on Ultimate Ninja difficulty. I mean, look, we're already facing our second boss in the first mission. This game definitely emphasizes boss battles. I mean, we're in the first mission and we're already facing our second boss. So yeah, get ready for some really difficult boss battles.
Open your eyes, Ryu Hayabusa. So, how does it feel to suffer as all of your victims? No. We are both steeped in the blood of our countless victims, my brother. Farewell, until we meet again.
Hayabusa, respond! Hayabusa!
I'm fine.
Listen, radar has picked up a missile incoming. 1 minute to impact. You need to get out of there. There's gotta be a way out somewhere. Hurry up or you won't make it! Hayabusa!
How disappointing. I had hoped the mighty dragon ninja would have put on more of a show. No matter. Begin the next phase.
Yes, sir.
Hayabusa! Can you hear me? Hayabusa! Come in! Hayabusa?
Yeah.
We're coming to pick you up.
Good. I owe you one.
Don't worry about it. What matters now is...
What's the situation?
The soldiers withdrew once the residence was destroyed. It appears you really were their objective.
Mizuki, turn on the news.
This new world has no need of nation-states. No need of avaricious, incompetent prime ministers, or presidents, or kings, or despots. Every nation, every country, must immediately agree to our terms of surrender. You have 7 days. Exactly the number of days it took God to create the world. Failure to comply will result in your immediate destruction. We did it to London, and we can do it to you.
So this is what they were really after.
Alright guys, that's going to complete the first mission of Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge running in the Master Collection on the Xbox Series X. Not only that, but I recorded and uploaded it in 60 frames per second. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that gameplay video, and if you haven't already, make sure you guys check out my gameplay videos for the other 2 games in this collection, Ninja Gaiden Sigma as well as Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma. Other than that, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers. We just hit 16 patrons. I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody in the biggest fan club, including Tim G84, AOJ, Kegger101, Michael Banksa, and Purple Rain 6. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.